Welcome, welcome, welcome. How much do you need to earn in salary to buy a home in Anna? That is what we are going to figure out today. How much do we need to earn? How much do we need to make in order to purchase a home in Anna? So my apologies, I'm being a little bit late, considerably late. It's over an hour late. Traffic was a little bit challenging, so we were doing some showings and all that fun stuff. So real estate is real estate. My apologies. So I'm gonna make it up to you. We're gonna go lightning fast, but we're still gonna be thorough. So Anna, Texas. How much do we need to make in order to purchase a home in Anna? At any point, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, drop them down in the comment section. I'll make sure that we get to them. And as always, please, 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 a like is gonna go a long way. It's gonna help broadcast this live stream, especially since it didn't go off at the time that we usually go live on Wednesdays. So really appreciate that. All right, so let's dig in. How much do we need to make in order to purchase a home in Anna? Let's start off in our usual spot, which is Altos Research. It's a free website. It is linked down below for you to check it out. So why are we here? The first thing that we need to understand as we're making this calculation is how much homes are. So what's the expense? What's the cost? What are the prices in real estate when we're talking about Anna? So that's the number one thing that we're going to get from this particular website. Now, the reason that we're going here as opposed to Zillow and Trulia and things of that nature, or websites like that, is because this particular website, aside from it being free, is incredibly accurate with real-time information. This gives you what's happening right now, the pulse of the real estate market as it sits. Other websites out there, they'll retroactively give you what the real estate market has done a month ago, 3 months ago, a year ago. This one is pretty much in tune with what we have going on. So let's dig in. This week, the median list price for Anna was $430,000, which puts the market action index for the city of Anna a little bit above a buyer's market. So as a quick little side note here, since Anna is further out in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, so it's in the suburbs, it's outside of the there's more room to run. It has more room for new construction. That's why you're seeing this market action index skew more towards the buyer side, because there's more inventory. So as a little reminder, if it's a seller's market, that means there's not as much inventory. That means that the sellers and the owners have more leverage. Now, if it sways over to be a buyer's market, that means that buyers have plenty of inventory. That means that there is there's opportunity for them to purchase. They have options and they have the leverage. So buyer's market has leverage, and seller's market, they're the ones that have leverage. So you're starting to see this become more of a neutral market, especially here in Anna, because of just that. There's more inventory in this area because there's new construction around. As you get closer into the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, as you get more to the central parts, like the Planos, the Allens, the Dallas for sure, the Irvings, the Grand Prairies, and as you start getting closer to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, or the central part of the DFW, that's when you start seeing more of a seller's market, because they have more leverage, because there's not as much inventory out there, and there's not new construction. There isn't new construction to really compete with in that city. So just a little side note that I like to share when we're talking about the market action index, which essentially is it a buyer's market or a seller's market? All right, so the real reason that we are here is because I like reviewing the market segments that this gives us. The market segments that it provides, it gives us a good understanding of what the asking price is, so what the price of real estate is in the city that we're looking at, in this particular case, Anna, and it matches it up with the type of property that we're buying. So as an example, if we're looking for a 3,000 square feet home, then if that's the type of property that we're looking for, you can expect to pay about roughly $550,000. This gives you a good understanding of, hey, is that within my budget? Now, if you're looking for a house that's over 2,000 square feet, the average price around that type of property is about $400,000. So it gives you a really good indicator of what the size of the home is. So essentially the type of home that you're looking at, it matches it up to the average price. So it really helps you not just give you the the median list price, which you see here at 430, it breaks it down into segments so you can make meaningful real estate decisions for you and your family. That's what I really like about this particular website. And I get paid nothing to present this to you. I get this. I don't have an agreement with Altos, and in fact, even if I did, it's free. So it's something that I encourage you to go and check out for any city that you're looking. So just open up multiple tabs as you're looking at different cities to purchase in, and just do the comparison that way. That's going to help you out a ton. All right, so with that being said, let's get our price. So what the price that we're going to shoot for is going to be $400,000. When we do these breakdowns of the salary necessary, or what the income you need in order to purchase a home in the city that we're looking at, in this case is Anna, we go with the third quadrant, or the third segment, because it's not the lowest, given that typically homes on the lower end of the particular city that we're looking at might require some additional work. So there's a reason that they're priced the way that they are. So in addition to it, them being a little bit smaller. So we don't want to go with the most expensive. So we're just going with a happy medium here, which is why we go with the third quadrant. So it's not the least expensive. It's certainly not the most expensive, but it's a reasonable type of real estate that we get asked for all of the time. So that's why we're doing this. So we're going to say it's $400,000 is what we are shooting for. Now, oftentimes when we start talking about numbers this high, it's hard for us to conceptualize how much home we can actually purchase. We hear 400,000, it might as well be 800,000. We visually we have a hard time understanding what that translates into in terms of what does that house actually look like. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to my website, jaimeresendez.exprealty.com, and we're going to look it up right now. We're going to look and see the type of inventory, the type of homes that you can purchase for this price and beyond. So we're going to do a very brief 30-second detour here so I can visually show you the type of real estate that we're looking at, the type of real estate that we're talking about. Now, the lowest price home in the city of Anna at the current moment is $275,000. All right, let me move myself. So as you can see, this is radically different than the $400,000 that we're looking at. So it's a reason that we're looking at averages. So if you're looking for a home, although you're not going to see as many options, but if you are looking for a home under $300,000, Anna still has some properties. And you can see here the type of home that we're looking at, a little shy of 1,400 square feet, a little bit over 1,600 square feet, a brand new build. So check this out, a brand new build, 1,300 square feet, 4 beds, 2.5 baths at $295,000. That's cool. That is cool. And you see homes that I can already tell these are DR Horton homes. Nothing wrong with that. I actually have multiple DR Horton homes, but just off of the style, I can already tell that's what they are. So we have in the 300,000s, this is what we're looking at. Some good looking homes, solid looking homes, right? So 300,000s, we're still in the 300,000s, plenty of options. Let's look at another page real quick. We're not going to go through all 11 pages, but just showing you some different options. 350, we're still getting into new construction territory. So as again, the further that we are traveling away from the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, the more new construction that we're going to run into, which allows us to have options. We don't, this becomes more of a buyer's market, or geared more towards a buyer's market because of that. So you see a lot of new construction showing up, and it's still under $400,000. For less than the average price of the Anna average price, you can get a brand new build. That is phenomenal. I like this master plan community, by the way. I've seen several advertisements for it. Some of our partner agents are selling so many homes out of that master plan community. So it just looks incredible. All right, so on the high end, just for those of you folks out there that like in looking at the higher end properties, let me show you the most expensive home. It's $1.3 million, and these are just phenomenal homes. All right, so with that being said, what is that? Is that a silo? Sorry, is that a silo? Oh, I lost it. Oh well, yeah, it looked like an interesting property. All right, so let's look at what we have going on here. Let's zoom in and let's do some math. How much we need to earn in order to purchase a home. So as you come in, a like is going to go a long way. It's going to help magnify and amplify this live stream so it reaches more people. So I really appreciate you for hitting that like button. It really does help the channel. Okay, now the first thing we have to do is we need to look at the scenario that is available for us right now. So part of the scenario we bring to the table, meaning our income, our down payment, our credit, that's the things that we can control. That is our portion of the equation. The next part of the equation is going to be market. The market itself is going to be what it's going to complete the scenario. There we're talking about the market interest rate. There we're talking about what the property tax rate is for the city of Anna. So there's certain things that we can control. Again, how much we make to a certain extent, our down payment, our credit. But there's some things that we cannot control, and that's the market, that's property tax rates, insurance rates, and things of that nature. So we're going to marry those together in our scenario building that we're doing right now. So first things first, down payment. Oftentimes, most of the homes that are purchased in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex are financed, meaning you are going to the bank and getting a loan, and that loan becomes the mortgage payment. That becomes your mortgage. So whenever you get a loan, there's several factors to consider. So whenever you get a loan, there's the principal, what's called the principal, meaning how much you borrow. There's the interest. So the interest rate is how much the bank is charging you to loan you that. So essentially the expense, the financing expense that you're going to have. So those are two very important parts of your monthly mortgage payment. Now, oftentimes you're going to have a third and a fourth part of your mortgage payment, and that is going to be the property taxes, as every single month you're paying into the property tax escrow, and then your home insurance. So there's going to be those four components to your payment. Now, when it comes to the down payment, you have options. You can put as little as 3% down if you're getting a conventional loan, or you could put 10% down, 20% down, 50% down, whatever down payment you feel comfortable making, that's what you can make. Now, the down payment is something that you need to have straight cash. You need to have it available at your bank so you can wire it into the title company whenever you're closing, or wire it to wherever it is that you're closing. So the down payment is pretty important. Now, there's some nuances that we're going to start addressing here as we get going, but just know, again, if you're getting a conventional loan, which is a type of loan, the minimum down payment that you can put is 3% down. If you're getting an FHA loan, which is a different type of loan that is typically a little bit easier to get into, or is you don't need as high of a credit score and some other items there, the minimum down payment that you can put down on that type of loan is 3.5%. So it's just a little bit more. Now, there are some differences that we're going to address here shortly. All right, so for our purposes today, we're going to put 5% down. That's where most of our clients end up doing anywhere from 5 to 20%. That's what they put down. So 5% is a good number for us to get going with. Interest rate. There is going to be an expense. There's going to be an expense that we have on our loan. Side note, super tangent. I just got Ring for my camera, for my security. And the community posts, they are just wild. Let me know in the comment section. Do y'all have Ring? Because the posts on there are absolutely wild. The people will post what they're making for dinner. It's worse than Facebook. It's wild to me. I thought Nextdoor was bad. I know I sound like a boomer right now. I know I sound like, oh, get off my lawn. But the notifications that go through the community post on the Ring doorbell, wow. Incredible. These are my neighbors. Anyway, sorry, tangent, super random tangent, but I just saw a notification, so I'm just going to turn that off now that I know that the audio is working. All right, interest rate, the expense that we have on that loan. So how much the bank is charging us. In order for us to get a reasonable interest rate estimate, we're going to go, depending on when you're watching this video, you're going to do the exact same thing, but your number is going to be different. So we're going to put mortgage interest rates today. Just going to go over to Google, and we're going to look for what the average interest rates look like at the present time. So we're going to go with loan amount, $400,000. It's not going to matter too much. for the average that we're looking at right now. And we're going to say that it's a 5% down payment. So we're taking what? $380,000 loan, state of Texas, and we're putting a fair average credit score. We're not getting an 800 plus, and we're not putting it the minimum down that you can approve. In fact, if you even click on that, it actually won't yield you a return. So we're putting 720 as our credit score. You can play around with this. You know your credit score. I don't. So as you can see, the average 30-year fixed rate right now is 7.346. So we're going to go and look for this, 7.346. This is, again, the average 30-year fixed, because that's what we're gonna look for. And you can make this adjustment as well. If you're doing a 15-year or 10-year adjustable rate mortgage, I'll show you how to do that here shortly. But for our purposes today, this is what we're doing. This is more than enough information for us to get the calculation going. Remember, there are certain numbers that we bring to the table, we as a person, and there are certain numbers that just happen to be the way that they are. So market conditions, depending on when you're buying. How long is your mortgage? For our purposes today, we're going to go with 30 years. Most of the loans that are used to purchase a home are 30 years. So we're going to stick with that, although you can adjust it 25, 20, 15. That's where you go and make the adjustment for your side. All right, guys. I know I said that I was going to turn it off. I really have to turn it off because these notifications are going bonkers. Property tax rate. We got to dial in. So I have to turn. I really need to get rid of this phone. We got to dial in. Property taxes are so important, especially in smaller towns that are becoming mega towns, like astronomical towns. Anna, we did the breakdown on Anna just recently. I forget, it's like what, 10,000. I don't remember exactly how many in population, but cities like that are, think of Prosper and really know like where Prosper is going, and where it was 5-10 years ago. That's the same thing that's going to happen to Anna, and is happening to Anna. So if it has 10,000 residents right now, it's going to have 50,000 residents in a matter of 5 years. It's going to grow so rapidly. So we need to understand what property tax rates are, how they're going to impact our property taxes, how much we pay every single year. So whenever you think of Texas, there's one thing that often comes to mind: property taxes are high. And that is true. Property taxes are on the higher end. The property tax rate, Texas has the 6th highest property tax rate in the entire country. New Jersey happens to be number 1. So property tax rates are a big deal here in Texas. The second thing to understand about property taxes is you're paying on those every year that you own that home. So as you own that home, regardless if you have a mortgage or not, you're paying property taxes. This is something that's not going to go away. So you need to understand what they are, and also have some property tax mitigation strategies, which we cover here in this channel extensively. So check out the other videos that we have, because it's going to impact you greatly. So that's the second thing to understand. The third thing to understand about property taxes is it's not just one single rate. That would be too easy. That would be way too easy. There are multiple numbers that we need to factor in, and we need to really know what numbers those happen to be, because if we just take one of those numbers, we're going to be undershooting it by 4 times, 5 times in some cases. So we need to really understand where those numbers are coming from. So I'm going to show you exactly where to go to calculate this for Anna. So again, the third thing to understand is there's multiple tax rates to consider, and here they are. It is the city tax rate. So the city itself has a tax rate that you're paying. You are also looking at the county tax rate. That's something else that you need to factor in. The third thing that you're looking at is the ISD, so the school system tax rate. That's something else that you're going to look at. Those 3 things are going to be on, there are going to happen for all cities in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So those 3 numbers we need to add together come heck or high water. Now there's 2 additional rates that oftentimes pop their little heads out. And that is the hospital network tax and the higher education tax. So hospital network, think of Dallas as an example. Parkland, you're paying for that. And higher education, with the Dallas community colleges, you're paying for that. Same thing in Tarrant. So this is some cities, not all cities, but some cities will include that additional higher education and or hospital network and higher education. Those are 2 additional taxes that happen. So a total of 5. Now there's special taxes and all those stuff, but those are rare. So we're not going to cover those. The primary ones that we're going to look at are those 5 numbers. 3 for sure, 2 possible ones. So city, county, ISD, and then possibly a higher education and possibly a hospital network. So let's investigate. Does Anna have that those additional rates? So all we have to do is going to go back to Google. Anna property tax rate. Now when you're searching, try to find that information directly from the city itself. You're going to have third-party websites that will give you a estimate, but oftentimes it's incorrect. And I don't even blame them. I'm not even trying to throw shade at these third-party individuals, because what you're going to find is that depending on the city that you're looking at, some of them will show you everything. It will show you those 5 numbers that I just talked about, and life is going to be good. But some cities are going to make it so challenging that it's literally impossible to find what the true property tax rate is. We've done the breakdown on over 80 cities in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, 80. And I can tell you that every single one of those websites is very challenging. So this is why we're doing this in real time. I could very easily do the research ahead of time and do this live stream, but that would be robbing you of information that you absolutely need. So let's dig in. Tax information. All right, so this is doing a really good job. I like that. Okay, so Anna, you're gonna get a. Yeah, you're gonna get an A. Yeah, you're gonna get an A. Just straight. I can't give you an A plus. I can give you an A. I'm gonna give you an A for the way that you present your property taxes. So let's back up for a quick second. We talked about this already, right? We talked about the 5 potential taxes, 3 for sure, and then 2 other potential ones. So what did we say the first one was? City. So city of Anna. So right there, you see that number right here. The city of Anna, 0.53975. What else did we cover? The county. Anna's in Collin County. So that's another number we're factoring in. What else did we cover? ISD. So Anna ISD, which has phenomenal facilities, by the way. Those are 3 numbers that we looked at. And then we talked about those 2 potential others, which was higher education. So think community college. So here you have Collin College. Makes sense. And then a potential hospital network. In this particular case, there is no hospital network. And to give you an idea of what we're looking at, is hospital networks are going to be roughly 0.4 to 0.9 or so. It's not going to be a huge number, but they all add up. And especially since you're talking about multiplying these numbers times $400,000 worth of real estate every single year, you're talking about thousands of dollars every single year, right? So this is the number. Again, I have to give you an A, Anna, because you did a really good job. You did a good job, and your tax rate is 2.216. So that's the number that we're going to use. All right, we're going to go I'm sorry, I already forgot. Okay. We're gonna round. Here we go. All right. This is broken down. By you don't need to put the percentage. I forget exactly the terminology here. Basis points. So you don't need to put 2.22. That would mess up the calculation. By the way, this is linked down below. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. This is linked down below. So make sure you go down and grab this calculator in the comment section and also in the description. So all you have to do once you download it, you need to make a copy, because you get the exact thing that you're using. I could even show you some as people log in. You would see like anonymous or whatever here. This is the exact same one. So all you have to do is you're going to go to File, make a copy, and then you have your own version. It's at no cost to you. So make sure you grab this. And this tool was actually, I wish I could claim it, but it was actually created by Win the House You Love, Kyle Seagraves. So Kyle Seagraves has a YouTube channel, Win the House You Love, a great friend of the channel. Go and show him some love on his YouTube channel, because he's a creator of this particular max price calculator that's going to give us how much we need to earn to purchase a home in Anna, but it's going to go beyond that. It's going to show you how much you can actually realistically afford. All right. Now that we spent 15 minutes talking property taxes, it really is that important. So keep in mind. So here's what happens. Oftentimes cities that are not Anna, in this particular case, cities that are not as detailed as Anna was here, oftentimes they'll just show their city tax rate and that's it. They don't show the ISD. They don't show the county. They don't show any college or higher education taxes. So if Anna had been that type of city, notice how big of a difference that was going to be between what we thought was a property tax and calling it good versus what the actual property tax rate was. It's a difference of what, four times, right? So we're over here calculating 0.005% as opposed to 0.02%. So essentially 2% of the value of the home. That's how drastic it can be. Home insurance rate. Whenever you get a mortgage, whenever you buy a home, you're going to need to insure that home. That is a contingency. That is a requirement by the lender. And even once you pay off the lender, it's highly encouraged that you have homeowners insurance, because replacing an entire home is costly. It's super costly. And the way that we estimate the premium that we are going to pay is we just, this one you don't need to move. Just leave the number as is. This is actually 0.75% of the value of the home. That gives us our yearly breakdown, and then it goes over and gives us the monthly expense that we can expect for home insurance. So this is an estimate. This is an estimate that we use whenever we're calculating affordability for our clients. So don't mess with this number. Mortgage insurance rate. Mortgage insurance, now we have to start talking about down payment and the whole myth of you need 20% down to purchase a home. That is a myth. That's something that at some point we just misunderstood it along the way. We played a game of telephone and it just got a little crazy. You do not need 20% down to purchase a home. Where the 20% number comes from is if you put a down payment of anything less than 20%. So meaning if you put a down payment of 5% like what you're seeing today, or if you put 10% or 15% or 19%, if you put anything less than 20%, you are going to be paying what's called mortgage insurance. So you're paying an additional expense, you're paying an additional percentage, you're paying an additional cost. And that is because the lender is asking you or demanding or requiring that you pay, and they're getting an insurance on your mortgage. Essentially, they want their money back and they want it quick. So they say, hey, Jaime, you put 5% down. Me as the bank, well, I'm putting 95% of the other 95%. We don't think you have enough skin in the game. Had you put 20% down, yeah, we would see eye to eye. We would consider you partners, but right now we don't. We see you as a huge liability. You put 5% down. So what I'm going to do as the bank, I am going to charge you mortgage insurance. Now, Jaime, I'm going to cut you a deal. If you get a conventional loan and you continue making your payments, when you get 20% equity ownership of that property, let's call it good. Mortgage insurance goes away. If you get a conventional loan, Jaime, that's it. Now, if you get an FHA loan, which remember the minimum down payment that you can put down on an FHA is 3.5%. If you get that minimum down payment, I don't care how much owner equity you have, you're going to always pay me mortgage insurance. So what I'm saying in this particular funny example is with conventional, once you get past 20% owner equity in your home, as you continue making payments, this mortgage insurance goes away. Under an FHA plan, under an FHA loan, that never goes away. Doesn't matter if you continue making your payments and you're 50% owner of that property. Does not matter. You're paying mortgage insurance. Fun times. All right, so the reason that we're including it here is because we're assuming it's a conventional loan and that you have good credit. Not phenomenal credit, but you have good credit, because we do need to factor that in whenever we're doing the mortgage payment breakdown. Yearly HOA fees, since it's Anna and there's a lot of new construction going on, and over 85% of the homes that get built right now are going directly into HOAs. It's probably more, but 85% is conservative. So many new construction homes are being built, and most of them are going directly into an HOA. We are going to put something in. We're going to budget something in for HOA, and a reasonable amount is going to be $500. Now, we're not going to worry about our income tax rate too much. We're just going to leave that as is for now. But what we are going to change is our yearly gross income. This is where you put your numbers in. So remember, this is linked down below. Go and get it. Once you download it, make sure you go to File, make a copy, and then you can edit it to your heart's delight. So what we're going to do is we're going to say we make $100,000 because this is something that we control. Remember, there's what we bring to the table, and then there is what the market is telling us. There's what the market is, and that is real estate prices. That is property tax rates. That is interest rates. That is a lot of other factors that we cannot control. But one thing that we can control is, again, our income, our expenses, and our other things. I forgot what I said there. So yearly gross income, $100,000. That's what we're going to start our number with. So remember, this calculation is going to be done instantly. So we're going to say that we make $100,000. Now, in order for this to get calculated correctly, we are needing the debt to income ratio. So essentially, how much do we make versus what are our expenses? So what is debt? So what is our debt? I need to be very careful with our terminology. What is debt? Debt is car loans, child support, credit cards, student loans. That is the debt. So you need to have those statements. You need to take those out so you can put them in here. So just put the name of your debt and put the amount of the minimum monthly payment that you're paying. So many of us have student loans. Put the minimum monthly payment that you have on that. Credit cards, put the minimum monthly payment. You could be paying more, that's great, but put the minimum monthly payment because we need this calculation. So for our purposes today, we're not gonna muddy the waters and add anything here, but just know that if you have some debt, you're gonna wanna add it here in order to get the calculation done correctly. Now, many of us are going to have co-borrowers. So that's a spouse, that's a friend, that somebody else is going to be on the loan. That's where you put their income. So again, same thing, very similar exercise to what you just did. You're going to put their income here, and you're going to put the name of the debt and the minimum monthly payment. Now remember, this is yours. Once you download it, you go to File, make a copy, and life is good. I'm never going to see this. Do not ask to edit my copy. So I get requests of this every single day. Do not ask to edit my copy. You have to make your own copy. So go to File, make a copy. Because once you download it, the way that it's done now, it's going to say viewer only mode or something like that. Or it's going to say request access. Don't request access. So I'm not going to give it to you. So go to File, make a copy. Let's continue. All right, so for our purposes today, we have everything that we need. Now we need to see how much we can actually afford. What's the max price home that we can purchase? So we're going to go to the affordability dashboard, and we're going to go to this graph before I show you the breakdown of what a monthly mortgage payment looks like. So for our purposes today, remember, we're shooting for $400,000. That is the number that we're trying to purchase. So it goes back to us trying to shoot this number or get to that number. Also recognize, though, that we saw some properties as we were going through this first breakdown, as we were going through the homes that are available for sale in Anna right now. We saw homes under $300,000, right? So for many of us, I mean, the calculation is done. For $100,000, you can buy a home in Anna. That's not the calculation that we're going, well, never phrase that. That is technically the calculation that we're going after, but that's not the most useful number for you. The most useful number for us that we're shooting for is $400,000 because that's going to be generally the type of home that we're looking to purchase right now. So we need to get to $400,000 in this little chart. So you can afford up to $399,000. We're very, very close. However, this is a very risky loan, at least the way that we see it. Risk is subjective. We don't necessarily recommend that you get a home that your monthly mortgage payment is 61% of your net income. That's challenging. That is stay up at night type of challenge, right? That is something like, oh, I better continue working overtime. That is, I hope I don't get fired type of stress. That is, I hope property taxes don't continue exploding the way that they are because next year I'm not going to be able to afford this home type of stress. Do not do that to yourself. Please don't do that to yourself. And oftentimes we blame the lender because, oh, the lender, they shouldn't approve me for this much. Well, you shouldn't have asked for so much. Sorry. This is why we go through this education. I know I'm sounding like, again, back to the boomer, back to like, oh, get off my front yard. But really, this is a type of information that I wish I knew long before I got into real estate. Whenever I was about my first house, when I was 25, roughly 25 years old, I can't remember exactly how old I was, but I bought a house. I had no earthly idea what property taxes were. And when I saw the number, it was just staggering to me. I had no clue how the mortgage thing worked. And I know it was explained to me, but I didn't care. It was a $500,000 house, my first house. This was back in 2000, whatever, 15-ish. I mean, it was just, I was over the moon. But whenever I saw that property taxes, I got stressed quickly. Anyway, going down a rabbit hole. What we need to do here is we need to de-risk ourselves. So in other words, when we do these calculations, we like to put our max price, or the purchase price, that we need this number, the $400,000, to fit nicely between these two. So this number needs to be below 400,000. This number needs to be above 400,000. So what does that mean? We need to make more. We need to go to our boss and say, hey boss, I'm trying to buy a house in Anna. I need you to bump up that pay, okay? And they're gonna say, no problem. How about you make $125,000 this year? I'll say, all right, well, let me check with my guys. I've checked with my guys and life is good. So the $400,000 fits within the moderate risk level and the aggressive risk level. Again, this is subjective. I recognize that. But I know this is subjective, but this gives you a good indicator of, this number right here gives you a good indicator of how much income you have versus, or how much income is going toward your housing needs, to your housing costs. So when it comes to our exercise, this is the number that we're looking for. We need to make $125,000 in order to purchase a home of $400,000 in value in Anna, to meet our requirements, to where, again, we're not staying up at night, to where we're so stressed that we're not going to make the mortgage payment anytime soon. Tell me, these notifications are going out of control, folks. I don't know if y'all have Ring camera, but I am not endorsing them at all. All right, here's what we got to do though. So now that we know what we know, again, just play around with these numbers, see what they look like. We need to do this. I want to show you the breakdown of what a $400,000 home looks like. So I'm sorry, the payment looks like. So right now we have it at $300,000. It's based off of a conservative max price. We need to manipulate the math to get to $400,000 so I can show you the breakdown of that monthly mortgage payment. So what I need to go and do is, don't worry about this part of this exercise. This is just me manipulating the calculator to give me the number that I want, to show y'all what the breakdown of that monthly mortgage payment looks like. So don't worry about going and asking for another raise from your boss. This is just a little exercise that I have to go through in order to get to the math that I need to show y'all this is going to be close enough. We're going to pretend that this has $400,000. All right. Now, if you're going to go and buy a home in Anna today, and you are putting all the same scenarios that I just went through, of 5% down, the same property tax rate, the same interest rate, and everything in between, you're looking at putting 5% down. It's going to be $20,000 for the down payment, and you're looking at estimated closing costs of $10,000. So all in all, you're needing $30,000 to close on a home in Anna right now, based off of this criteria. Now let's continue. What does that mean? That means that we have a $3,800, just a little bit over $3,800 monthly mortgage payment. This is what we're paying monthly. All right, so let's break this down. Of this $3,800, where's this number going? Where's the math going? Well, $2,625 is going to the principal and the interest. So remember, principal is how much we borrowed. Interest is how much it cost us to borrow that amount. $700. This is what was super shocking to me. Property taxes. Of the entire amount, $742 per month goes to property taxes. That's why it's important that we understand where property taxes come from. That's why it's important that we understand where to go to get this information. That's why we went directly to the source to get this information. So we didn't get it wrong, right? So property taxes, you can see they're on that's a very real number. Many of us, again, that's more than a car payment. Homeowners insurance, $251. This is an estimate. This is a very reasonable premium. The premium is going to change depending on the value of the home. Well, it's already on the value of the home. It's going to depend on the. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. The homeowner's insurance is going to depend on the coverage. I'm sorry, there it is. The coverage that you put on that home. It's going to vary on if you've had claims before. It's going to vary on a few different things, but this is a good estimate of what the monthly premium on home insurance is going to be. Mortgage insurance. This goes back to us not putting 20% down on the purchase of the home. So we're going to be paying the mortgage insurance on this. If we have a conventional loan, we're going to be paying this for 6 to 8 years. If we do not have a conventional loan and have an FHA loan, then we're going to be paying mortgage insurance for life. Kidding. For the life of the loan. So just know that. Homeowners insurance, this is in this calculation, as you see right here, but it's actually not part of the monthly mortgage payment. This is just something that we do so you can see it visually and budget for it. The homeowners association fee is due at the beginning of the year, and it's due in one fell swoop. So you're going to get an invoice January 1st, and you're expected to pay it very quickly. And if you don't pay it, you're going to be assessed a big penalty. If you don't pay that, you're going to get a lien on the house, and good luck selling that house until you pay the HOA that money. Now, I want you to scroll down. We're not going to have time to go through all of this here, but I want you to scroll down through the rest of this calculator because it gives you, let me zoom out. Gives you so many different good numbers that you can use in real time. What I like to show you here is when you're comparing home offers. Let's just say you have the opportunity to purchase a home 5% less. It does that calculation for you. It lets you know how much less that you're going to be putting in down payment, how much less in closing costs you're going to have, and how much lower your monthly mortgage payment is going to be. That way, when you're in the heat of battle of submitting offer after offer, and you get to see, all right, well, if I offer this, what's my monthly mortgage payment going to be? If I offer this, what's that going to be? It gives you a real quick snapshot of affordability. So that's what I wanted to show you that. Folks, if there's anything that we can help you with, where you're looking to move into the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex or move out of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, or you have a real estate need anywhere in the country, we are in all 50 states and over 20 countries. We would love to support you in any way that we can. So just shoot us a message. Our contact information is down below. Or if you want our email, it's admin@highmarriagecenters.com. We would love to support you in any way that we can. Stay tuned for our next live stream. We're going to continue doing these breakdowns on every single city in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. We have hundreds of videos in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex in this YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.